Hey everybody, it's Root Beer. Time for episode 5 of Magia Record. So this week was a bit more of a transition episode. There was a whole lot of building up, exposition, kind of tying all the plots together before we go into the big finale because short season, there's actually only 3 episodes left. So we finally get to learn what the Magius' actual plan is this week. They have this big artificial witch named Embryo Eve that they're cultivating, and this witch is responsible for maintaining their Doppel system. So they want to feed it a whole bunch of actual witches and eventually Walpurgis so it becomes strong enough to expand their system across the entire world. The reveal of Eve this week makes for a really neat and creepy visual. You know, witches were already very trippy with their kind of paper mache aesthetic going on. So seeing that, and then seeing Eve kind of nomming on trainfuls of witches with big photorealistic human teeth is certainly a sight to behold. We also finally start to catch up with the rest of the Mikazuki Villa gang, so we see Tsuruno kind of bugging out this week. That's going to play into what I presume is the finale of this season, so hopefully they do this particular storyline justice. I've always thought that Rumor Tsuruno was always a very interesting concept, and I like the way that it was handled in the game, so hopefully that goes well in the anime as well. We also catch up with Felicia and Sana, who are, not doing a whole lot right now. They were on kitchen duty this entire time, but we finally see them kind of doubting the Magius plot, and especially Felicia because her whole backstory of hating witches, seeing everything that the Magius are doing finally kind of gets her to think about her motivations, and maybe joining up with this weirdo cult wasn't a great idea. Admittedly, the way that the two of them kind of flip-flop sides was the same way in the game, and I think it is equally as weak in the anime, where this whole separation was kind of a nothing burger. I feel like the story might have been better served if we had just skipped that altogether, aside from, Tsuruno, to try and develop the relationship of the main cast a little more. No sightings of Madoka and the gang this week, although we do get an appearance by Kyoko, who runs by because she stole a bunch of grief seeds. Kyoko is best girl and continues to be. We also get a brief glimpse of Mifuyu drowning her sorrows and kind of questioning the plan as she sees Tsuruno all bugged out the way she was earlier. It's a nice little insight into her character. I feel like with the confrontation in episode 2 and kind of the way she's acting now, they're doing a better job depicting her losing faith in the plan. We already know that it was kind of on a shaky foundation to begin with. She's just desperate to try and get out of the consequences of being a magical girl. So seeing her actually have to dig into her motivations and question whether or not supporting the Magius is worthwhile is nice character development for her. And lastly, Iroha and Kuro are making a push to go and confront Toka and Nemu. So Iroha is kind of being more independent this season, trying to push forward to confront them herself. Kuro kind of being a supporting character in this, although she sure is waving a whole lot of death flags right now. Especially with the final scene being Kuro releasing her Doppel to hold off all of the feathers chasing after them. As far as other miscellaneous thoughts, we didn't get much of Yachio this week. She's kind of been isolated outside of the hotel compared to everyone else. I do wonder if they're going to use this opportunity to bring Nagisa into the plot. And if you don't know who that is, I'm using her as the cover image for this video because I still haven't drawn anything new. There was also a scene of various feathers harvesting emotions from regular people, including friends and family, if what Toko was saying during her speech was applicable, which, kind of reinforces the very cult-like feel the Magias have going for them, and, is another step towards making them definitively the villains. Pretty decent episode overall, although being mostly set up in nature means not a whole lot exciting happened this week. Hopefully next episode kind of ramps up the excitement a little bit. There are a whole lot of plot lines that I personally really like coming up, so I hope the anime manages to do them justice.